Here we go with a Wednesday Sports Feed on the One. WNDH Sports Feed is brought to you by Venus Specialties. The All-Ohio list is out in Division 3 and 4 football, and the Wildcats have 3 first-teamers, a second-teamer, honorable mention, and Coach of the Year. Tory Strock was named Co-Coach of the Year in the state for leading the Cats to a #1 ranking in the state and an undefeated regular season and on to the regional final. He is joined in that honor by Craig Clark out of Zanesville, Maysville. Congratulations to Tory Strock. 3 first-team All-Ohioans, Jordan Lauf, Lucas Kolbe, and Bryant Schlade. Let's check in with Wildcat All-Ohio coach Tory Strock.
It makes you reflect on the season we had, and then too, Dave, you reflect on, all the work, that goes into doing something like this, and all the people behind the scenes, that make it happen for you, from the administration here to the community, and of course our kids and their families, and all the youth and junior high coaches, and it's really a pretty big deal when you look at everything that goes into it.
I remember back before the season even started, you told me I think I've got a first-team All-Ohio receiver that's come out, Jordan Lauf, and I said, you got to throw more to get an All-Ohio receiver, and he said, we will, and by golly, look at the honor for Jordan Lauf at receiver.
Yeah, I do remember saying that, Dave, and I think that was probably a pretty bold statement there, with Jordan sight unseen for the last couple of years, but I was pretty confident in that, and when you have a target out there like that, it makes it a little more enticing to get the passing game going, and just so much fun to coach him, and of course Bryant Schlade on the first team, and Lucas Kolbe, to get a lineman. I think, Dave, there were only 4 first-team linemen in the list I saw, and to have one of them, it's pretty special.
Well, it showed also that, this was a team on offense that could do it with the passing game and the running game. That's why you guys were so good, I think.
Yeah, and that made it a lot of fun, too, going into games and, being able to be balanced and or at least presenting the illusion that we were going to be balanced. And, of course, we wanted to run the ball first, but, having a threat like that on the outside, gave us some options. And I just couldn't be prouder, my coaching staff and just everybody involved. It makes a special season even more special. You certainly don't coach, for those honors, but they're a big deal when you get them. And then, for your kids to be honored, it's just a reflection of our school and community. And I think that's really, in the end, what makes it so neat to me is when I look at that list and see Napoleon next to our names. That's pretty proud.
Bryant Schlade, this guy I think could play any position on your team. He is so versatile and hard-nosed.
Well, he is, and I've called him, the Rock before of our team, and he's a guy, Dave, that he's not real flashy. He just goes about his business, and sometimes you don't notice him because he's just so steady and so consistent. And then if people could see the work he puts in the off season, it would blow him away.
How in the world does a guy go from sitting out his whole junior year with an injury to be second-team All-Ohio linebacker like Max Westhoven?
Well, that's a special story for the reason you cited, because opening kickoff of that Defiance game, and it's all over, and you lose a whole season. And the neat thing about that, Dave, is the fact that the leadership that he showed in the off season as he worked towards this season, and it wasn't just a bunch of hype and things like that. He led by example, and then on the field we talk about having that last play mentality, and he had that, and that's the reason he was chosen All-Ohio. And you look at Division III, Dave. That's quite a list. I mean, pound for pound, I don't know that there's a tougher division in the state of Ohio.
And when you look at a guy that's your quarterback, Dave Yunker, you think of the guy throwing the touchdown passes, but maybe he was more known for his quarterback skills on defense, where he earned All-Ohio for your secondary.
Yeah, well said, because he wasn't only the quarterback of our offense. As you said, he was the quarterback of our defense. And you talk about a kid who has gotten the most out of everything he's been given, and then, took it up a whole nother notch, and a kid that really made those around him better, Dave. And I think it can't be overstated, the value David had to our team, not only offensively, but as you said, defensively.
Finally, Coach, are you seeing college coaches making contacts to maybe grab some of your Wildcat seniors?
Yeah, I think every day after lunch, I have 1 or 2 or 3 waiting, and they're well informed. Let's just put it that way. They know that to have a season like we had, there's some players getting it done here, and you know, Division I, Division II, certainly a lot of Division IIIs, and you know, it's a little tougher to recruit in Division III, and you know, they're here scouring the halls, and that's fun too. I mean, that's a part of coaching that takes a lot of time as well. But you know, you're crazy as a coach if you don't work hard to promote your kids.
What a year for the Napoleon Wildcats in football.